Well, it's late December. We've got clear blue skies today. This is probably the mildest day we've had for about 4 or 5 days. It's just 8 degrees. It's a flat calm commercial, the one that I'm fishing today. This is Loxley Fisheries near Sheffield. The water clarity is a little bit clear. It is obviously just coming up to Christmas as well, so we're not expecting too many fish. However, I'm going to be fishing with maggots today, and I'm just going to be showing you how you can come to mixed fisheries like this and just really fish for bites. And that can be so exciting because you never really know what you're going to catch. Well, the sun's just coming up. It looks like it's going to be a really nice day. There are 1 or 2 fish moving, which is a great sign. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to fish for bites. I'm going to be fishing with maggots. And as we know, all fish like maggots. And at this time of year, it can be a great way just to get some bites. When you're fishing very less selective, where you're not that fussy about what you catch, but if you fish with it in a balanced sort of a way, then you can pretty much catch and hook and land virtually any stamp of fish. Certainly now the water temperature has gone down, fish are moving about a little bit less. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to fish 2 different spots. I've got 2 floating islands opposite me here today, which look really inviting, but I'm only going to set 1 rod up, and I'll show you how I can rotate 2 swims and hopefully continue to catch throughout the session. I'm not going to be casting 4 on this swim. The maximum cast I've probably got here is about 22 to 23 metres, something like that. I've just got 1 11-foot rod set up. I'll show you the rig and everything once we get fishing, but the first thing I really need to do is decide where I'm going to fish. Now what I'm going to do is, I've got 2 nice features out there. There are 2 floating high islands and I'm going to use them both. And that's because I want to rotate lines. I want to keep leaving an area that is quiet. It's a bit of a stealth line, an area where fish can get a little bit of confidence, so that at stages I can go onto that line and hopefully nick 1 or 2 fish. This venue is only about 4.5 feet deep. You know, it's not very deep. The water clarity is quite clear, so I fully expect fish to be a little bit spooky, just like what they are on most venues at this time of year once the water clarity starts to go clearer. So by having 2 swims, it's going to allow me to rotate them both, and hopefully that will maintain the chance of us getting bites throughout the whole session. So I'm just going to get clipped up, because I'm going to be clipped up at a range that I can fish both spots with. So all I'm going to do is, I've just clipped on a 17.5 gram bottle bomb, just something that's really nice and discreet, and I don't want to do this too many times. I don't want to spoil the peg, but I think it's really important to get clipped up just to maintain accuracy. And if you're fishing venues where you've got a longer cast than this, then I think accuracy is even more important. So for today, all I'm going to do is I'm going to fish to the left hand side of this island in front of me, or this raft, and then I'm going to fish to the left hand side of the raft to my right as well. So I want a nice range that I can fish both those spots with. So that's it. So whatever distance that is, that's going to allow me to fish both those spots, and I can rotate them. I've got the line clip on, so all I'm going to do is count the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 and a bit turns. So I know now if I do hook a big fish, or I've got to take that line clip off, I know I can put a bomb on again and go back to 26 turns, and then I know it's going to be exactly the right range for both spots. So all I've got today is a pint of maggots, half whites, half reds, simple as that, nothing else on the bait tray. First thing I need to do is just switch these feeders over. I'm not going to be using the feeder actually in line today. We can use these feeders in both ways, like a conventional feeder. So all we do is pop that stem off, which is the inline stem, and then we've got these stems here, which are the swivel feeder stems, and I can just switch that for a different stem. Pop that in there, nice and easy, and that just means that I can fish this like a conventional maggot feeder now. Obviously that top pops off, that's where the maggots go, and that stem just allows you to fish a nice free running rig, which is exactly what we've got today. Some fisheries don't allow you to use fixed rigs, so it's good to just know what kind of free running rigs you've got available to fish like this, and that's all I've got today. Just a nice simple snap link swivel, free running onto a feeder bead or a feeder stopper, okay, and then I've got a loop there, which is where I'm going to attach my hook length, and that is it. I could just clip the feeder on there quickly and easily. There's nothing that can go wrong there, nothing can tangle. and that's where I'm going to attach the hook length. I'm going to fish quite light to start with, just because we're fishing for bites, and we'll get a feel for what stamp of fish are going to be out there. The hook length that I'm going to be kicking off with, and the hook, I'm going to kick off with a size 16 MXC1, and that's to 0.12, which breaks at about, I think it breaks at about 3.5 pound, 4 pound maybe, something like that. These are 50 centimeters long. I'm going to start off with it as long as that. I don't think it's going to be right. I think we might need to shorten it down. However, there are lots of chub and hide in here that live up in the water, so by having that longer hook length, it might just give me a better chance of hooking one or two of those fish that are up in the water. As always, I just attach the hook length loop to loop, and I'm going to kick off with double maggot on the hook and just start putting a few maggots in with this little feeder. I'm going to start on the line in front of me, and then rotate between that line and the one to the right. I've got a choice of white or red maggots, so I'm just going to kick off with 2 reds to start with. These are lovely fresh maggots, so they're quite big, but I think they look just about right on that size 16 hook. And I'm going to start off initially with just about filling the feeder, just to get some maggots in there, just to get something, and that'll give us a feel for how many fish are actually out there. Still starting off with that 50 centimeter hook length, but I'll shorten that if we need to. But I am clipped up. There are lots of carp in here, there's all sorts in here, virtually everything, so we could hook anything. So I'll need to be prepared to take that line clip off if need be, if we hook a powerful fish. But there's 1 or 2 fish topping. There are other anglers on here today, but I haven't seen any other fish caught yet. But this time of year, it's quite common to have a slow start when it's been so cold overnight. We'll just keep a few maggots trickling in, and what the plan basically is, I'm going to have about 4 or 5 casts in this spot, and if I don't get anything, I'll then go over to this right hand spot, this right hand raft, and that way it will give me a chance to rest this line once a few maggots have gone in, and that hopefully is going to be the pattern for the day. That one's on. Yes, that's 3rd cast, we've got one. Not a big fish. That's not bad at this time of year. And the beauty is, we don't know what it is. Silverfish, let's have a look. There are hide in here, there are lots of chub as well, roach, there's a bit of everything really. But there we go, 3rd cast. Brilliant, what we got. Look at that, it's a beautiful roach, freezing cold. Sulked right in the middle of the bottom lip. 3rd cast. Nice stamp fish as well. Great. So that's it, we've got some maggots in, some bait in this left hand swim. Let's pop him straight back. We'll be able to see him swim off that clear water. So what I can do now, just see if we can catch any more fish on that line, and if it does go quiet or it doesn't quite get going, I know I've got some bait in on that line, and I can just switch to this right hand swim then. But that was on double maggot, so no need to change anything. It was a really positive bite, as you saw. There was no messing, and we might find that as more and more maggots go into the swim on that spot, we might find that it will get stronger. We might find small fish are a problem, we don't know. That's the beauty of it, it's a complete unknown. And that's why fishing with maggots is great, you know, because anything could turn up at any stage. There we go. Beautiful bite, that one. This is a different fish. Much slower, this one. One thing we've got to watch for is that those rafts out there are actually tethered. I don't know if they're tethered at both ends or just one end. So that's something to bear in mind when you hook fish. This one's just going to my left a little bit, much slower this one. As you can imagine, this time of year, this is when the fish do slow down. They're less active, the water's cold. And sometimes you're hooking fish and it can be quite surprising what they are. Let's take his time with him, let's see if we can see what it is. There are carp, there are F1s in here. Is this a chub? Could be a chub, this one. It is. It's a beautiful chub. Well, we know they love maggots. If we were targeting chub solely, then the maggot feeder would probably be the number one approach. If you were going to fish a feeder, the Waggler can be great because these fish live up in the water, but let's have a look at him. See the size of the mouth on the chub. You know, we know that they love loads of maggots. They can really mop plenty of maggots up, but look at that, it's a fantastic conditioned fish as well. Beautiful. So that's ticking over nicely now. I've had 3 fish now in 7 casts, and as you'd expect, while ever you're getting bites and catching on this line, there wouldn't really be a need to change. You know, you could just carry on doing what you're doing. But as we all know, that doesn't happen very often. So it'd just be a case of catch what. That's gone straight round. Oh, it's gone to the clip. Just stopped him. Straight round. So I think it's safe to say that these fish have come to the maggots now. It took probably 3 casts to just get a few maggots there. As you can imagine, these maggots, I mean, whilst they might be quite lively here at air temperature whilst they're on the bait tray, as soon as they hit the water, this water's freezing cold, you know, so it can stun them. And when it stuns them like that, it's obviously going to slow down how quick they actually release from the feeder. So it can take a while sometimes to get a few maggots in the swim for the fish to find. It looks like it's another chub. It is, it's another great big chub. Beautiful fishing. There we go. Let's get his mouth. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Well, what a fantastic stamp of fish. Look at that. Hooked in the corner of its mouth. Look at the size of his mouth there. Absolutely fantastic fish. He'll build a weight with those. Beautiful condition as well, aren't they, for commercial fish? It's great to see. Beautiful. An instant bite as well, and that's why we've got that longer hook length on, or longer than normal. Off you go, mate. We've now got the perfect scenario. It doesn't happen all the time, as you can expect, but we've now got 2 live swims. We've got the swim that I'm catching on now, which is catching roach, eyed and the odd chub, but I've also got that left hand swim as well, which is currently getting rested whilst I'm catching fish on the right hand swim. By fishing with maggots, you're just making sure that you're not being too selective. It's a very enjoyable method, and I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of an insight into what can be a match winning tactic, and hopefully it's going to help you catch more fish this winter.